Just getting people in. And so everybody knows this Zoom chat is being recorded for posterity's sake because of lovely YouTube. So for anybody who doesn't remember what we're talking about or needed this recording for something else, it'll be up on YouTube, maybe later, maybe earlier tomorrow. We'll see how long it takes this little MacBook Air to process that bad boy. All right. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. Did anybody else partake in Hot Dog Day? Anybody? Come on.
I decided to take a nap instead.
I totally decided to have Hot Dog Day because that is one of the happiest days of the month. I was just talking with a student who's not in band. They were telling me that they're a vegetarian, and I said, "Oh, I love Portillo's.
Thank you so much.
Nice beef with a sausage in the middle. Oh my goodness, so good." To which they looked at me like, "Ew, that's gross," which I just think is more for me. But that's a
Oh, true.
There we go. The return of Calc Master. John, I like how you just shake your head. All right, friends, it is 5:02. We are going to get this show on the road. Thank you very much for being here. It's great to actually see you guys. And especially if you're new and I'm looking at your faces going, who are you? It's because you had a face mask on earlier and I don't recognize you anymore. So all I got was like eyes and a little bit of hair, and that was it. So unless you had like some like birthmark on your forehead, there was no way I was going to be able to tell you apart from anybody else. So thank you. Let me share this bad boy with you. Oops. Oopsie poopsie. There we go. We're going to pick, yes, this is what I want, in fact. All right, I trust everybody can see this, yes?
It's starting up.
How are we looking now? We can see, rock and roll. All right, friends, here we go. At some point, if you have a question, you're just going to need to talk because I can't see you. All right. Ooh, hey, look, there's me. Okay. There we go. So we've got 4 points that we're going to be shooting for today: the welcome to the syllabus, rehearsal schedule, and rehearsal policies. So let's get started. Oh, this picture will live in infamy. Welcome back to Concert Band, everybody. I am so excited for this. Really excited for this. For all of our veteran players who were here last year, who like really put out a great foot in front of people and packed our concert hall, and people saying that they love Concert Band all of a sudden, thanks for being here again. For all of you who are new and ready to join the fun, thank you. We need you too. That's great. There's a lot to look forward to this year, and I'm going to be spending a little bit of time today talking about what that is. There's time at the end for question and answer, so if you have a question and you think it can wait, just wait till the end. All right, let's knock it out. Syllabus. Our syllabus is found in Moodle. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go over this together, and I'm only going to go over highlights. I'm not going to read this to insult your intelligence. I'm just going over the highlights so that way some things I know were understood going in. So let me stop that share and let me share over here. Bam. And that should get me there. All right, here we go. Let's get a little bigger. There we go. Okay. Are we all seeing this now? Super. Rock and roll. All right. This is in Moodle for you. Rationale course descriptions. Major ELO, minor ELO, this for the Gen Ed. We'll talk about that at, I guess we can talk about it now. Really wasn't part of the presentation, but that's okay. For your Gen Ed, digital would be the key word here. For those of you who are double dipping and doing this for, also trying to collect a little bit of Gen Ed love in here. And this would be the new Gen Ed. So if you are, aged, this probably does not count to you. But if you are rather fresh, then this would count for you. In short, we're going to be doing some recordings, just not, and we'll be doing some recordings through Practice First, which is in Music First, and that will be what you use for Task Stream for your portfolio. Okay, that's like the Cliff Notes version of what you're going to be doing. It doesn't go much harder than that. It's actually pretty easy. We'll talk about that. Expectations. Section leaders. When I wrote this syllabus, I wrote this syllabus before I was told what the parameters for rehearsals were going to be. So there's going to be some things in here where I'm going to have to adjust them and tell you about it. But we're going to have sectionals. Rehearsals are going to be there, grading, blah, blah, blah. You can read that at your own time. Tour dates. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, music department tours have been canceled. That is band and choir, okay? And I don't think that's a surprise to anybody at this point. However, our tour manager, Big Bad John, but here it says Jonathan Lorenzen, and I have created a plan for soloist and chamber ensembles to visit local Wells churches to perform on a few Sundays during the school year. We've been given the green light by the Office of Development to go travel to the area Wells churches. And by area, we're not talking like within a few miles. Like New London is asking, like, what's the possibility? And that's a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump, more like a leap. So we'll see. Once we have some churches who actually say, yes, we want you, and here are our dates, then I'll come to you guys and I'll say, all right, who's available? And we'll go from there. Performances. Late October, early November, we're going to begin recording our virtual concert, and we will be doing that within your sectionals. And the way it's going to work, at least the way it's in my mind that this is going to work now, is if we're live and we're in sectionals, we'll put headphones on, and you'll hear a backing track of the entire band, and you'll play along with that. You'll have me in front of you conducting. We'll all be listening to the same backing track, so you'll still have me in front of you conducting, but you'll have that backing track, so you're like virtually playing with the band, but all we're going to get is your corporate sound of your sectional. We'll do that for everybody, and on the back end, IT and I will sew that together in a DAW, digital audio workstation, to make the virtual concert. Now, for all of the music that we did last semester for you veterans, I'm handing those files over to IT because they have a little more time than I do to finish stitching that together. And then what I'm hoping that will happen then is in the concert that we do at the end of the semester, we'll have the music we're working on this semester. And then for those of you who are like, wait, I did, Star Spangled Banner, and what about Trish Trash Polka, and this, that, and the other, then we'll get some of that loaded in there too. Attendance, be here. Tardiness, it's 10 minutes after. You're tardy if it's more than 10 minutes after the beginning. If you need to leave early, like if you all of a sudden cut like 30 minutes early and didn't talk to me, then it's also, that hits you on the back end too. So just be careful of that. Class atmosphere. I'm going to sum all of that up by saying play nice in the sandbox. Okay? Play nice in the sandbox. Smile. Just good Midwestern nice. If you're not from the Midwest, to just spend more time around the rest of us and you'll understand what that is. Or watch Charlie Barron's in the Manitowoc Minute. You'll get it. Okay? Accommodations with students with disabilities. In compliance with Wisconsin college policy and equal access laws, I am available to discuss appropriate academic accommodations that may be required for students with disabilities. Requests for academic accommodations are to be made during the first 3 weeks of the semester, except for unusual circumstances, so arrangements can be made. An unusual circumstance would be like you're in a sport and you got a concussion and all of a sudden you can't, like, I hold up 2 and you see 5. Okay? That would be like an unusual circumstance. Academic integrity, don't cheat. Copyright policy, don't do that. Like the bad stuff, don't do that. Cheating and plagiarism, don't be that person. Here we go. Student health, safety, and well-being. Wisconsin Lutheran College is devoted to the personal welfare of each student by creating a nurturing and Christian community in which all members can grow intellectually, socially, emotionally, and spiritually. A student's experience at Wisconsin Lutheran College can be among the most enjoyable of rewarding of their lives. We know that college life also comes with challenges. It is natural and acceptable for people to want to talk with somebody about personal and or other challenges, including but not limited to the following: boundaries, relationship difficulties, stress, anxiety, depression, substance abuse, eating concerns, or self-esteem issues. And WLC is blessed to have many people working to take care of you. Regarding matters such as the ones noted above, the following individuals are available to help you. It's what they love to do. And please know you are encouraged to reach out and connect with one or more of them whenever you need to, and moreover, to learn about other resources that were created with you in mind. And so they give you a list for Crisis Hotline, Christian Family Solutions, Jackie Kerminsky, Director of Student Health Services, Campus Pastors, Karen Sitz, who's the Director of Student Services, your RA in Public Safety. Okay. If there's something where it's in band and the kid next to you won't stop talking, you could probably just talk to me before you go to the campus pastors. I'm sure they'll have lovely things to tell you, but I can probably deal with that more directly than they can. Okay. So subject to change. This is my favorite part of any syllabus. It means that you can't hold me accountable if I need to change something. Okay. I'll give you written notice. I'll tell you, hey, the syllabus changed. Here's the new syllabus, and here's what the changes are. But if something weird happens and I need to change it, so on and so forth, that'll happen. Okay. So that is syllabus talk. Hold your questions till the end. Okay, I'm looking at faces right now, and I don't think I see anybody asleep yet. Calc Master, looking good. April and Z, everything looks fine. Olivia and Gabby, we're looking good. All right, let's see. Grace is smiling. That's good. Like some of you are self-conscious now. You're actually going to try and smile. Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Christina. Very nice. Because you're right by Calc Master. I get it now. Okay.
6 feet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, 6 feet. Come on, children. Okay. Anyways, let's go back to my slides. This will be all forms of amazing. We'll start at the beginning again. Or no, we won't. Cool. I can dig. All right. Let's get this going here. And you. All right. Well, that's fine. We'll move on. There we go. All right. So here we go. Blah, blah, blah. We talked about that. All right. Rehearsal schedule. So this is the current version of the rehearsal schedule. You're going to see, where am I? Oh, my hand doesn't go that far. I guess I only have a box about that big. Well, in that, oh man, in that corner, but all the way at the top, flute, and or if we have an oboe player, you can see that there's 3 rooms running on a Monday night, a Wednesday night, and a Thursday night. You can also see that from 4:45 to 5:15 is a chunk, from 5:20 to 5:50 is another chunk, and 5:55 to 6:25 is a third chunk. You will also notice, because you're all intelligent individuals, that there are no groups back to back. That is because we are allotting for a minimum of 30 minutes in between sectionals when we're using the same space. On the left side under room, you will see the rooms that are in green, mean that it is a sectional with me. You'll also see on the right that the background is green and the lettering is white. That is an indication that you are with me for your sectional. If it's the inverted, where it is just black and white, that it is just a student sectional. So you'll notice on Mondays, flutes, you guys are 4:45 to 5:15, and the wolf, that's F116, where everybody, if you came for an in-person audition, that's that room. And then clarinets, you're 5:55 to 6:25. You're every Monday with me at those times in that room. Saxes, it'll either be all the saxes or just altos. I haven't decided yet, but for right now it's altos. 5:20 to 5:50 in black box. Black box is the, for those of you who don't know where black box is, the front doors on the main level of the Fine Arts building. On one side is the Schwann, on the other side is black box. If you don't know, ask somebody and they'll point you in the direction. Plus, on the first rehearsal, I'll be waving and say, it's over here. In F205, at 4:45 to 5:15, high brass, that's trumpets, French horn. You are going to be in there, okay? And then at 5:55 to 6:25, low reeds. Right now, that's tenor sax, bari sax, bassoons, and bass clarinet. You're going to be in F205. On Wednesday, percussion, you guys are with me in the Wolf at 5:20 to 5:50. A black box, student-led sectional, is flutes and then clarinets. And then low brass, you're with me at 4:45 and F205. And low brass is going to be trombone, euphonium, tuba. Then on Thursday, high brass, you're with me 4:45 to 5:15. And this is where it gets interesting. Percussion, you're at 5:55 to 6:25. So you are percussion, you are the only group that has the same rooms like everybody else does, but different times. And the reason for that is that we need to allot a half an hour after our rehearsal for another group to rehearse in here. And at 6:30 on Wednesdays, that's where the chamber strings rehearse. So that's why you were pushed back a slot. And you can see, like, where am I? There we go. Alto saxes, you're right here in the black box. Low brass and then low reeds are right there. Nothing too crazy. For those of you who have sports conflicts, the coaches and I really got to hand it to the coaches. They've been done a really good job of either working through you or emailing me directly to come up with a compromise. Okay. I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from in this conversation. So if this conversation does not apply to you, just mentally check out for a moment. If this conversation does apply to you, do not mentally check out for a moment. I want you to understand where I'm coming from on this one, so that way the conversation can move a little faster. If you're in a sport, and let's say you're rehearsing for an hour a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, okay? Let's say even Saturday, I don't know. Let's say you have like 6 hours of practice in a given week, whether it's an hour a day for 6 days, whatever. That's 300 minutes. Now, right now, you have a reduced band rehearsal schedule because of the sectional schedule, right? That is a total of, if you put my sectional and your sectional together, that's only 60 minutes. So you have a theoretical sports commitment that's 300 minutes and a band commitment that's 60 minutes. And if you come to me and say, hey, can I leave or come late to sectional, I'm going to look at you a little funny because you have 240 other minutes with your sport, which is a disparity. And I'm not saying that band should be 300 minutes, but I am going to say, just know where I'm coming from. It's not unheard of when it was a full band rehearsal, but now we're talking about small chunks of time. So just be aware of that. If you're a music major or a minor, you're required to be in an ensemble. Less leeway on this one because you should be here. Again, you also have like the other two. This is assuming like an hour a day. You have that 300 minutes in the week. So the example I give you is generic. It may not apply to you, or it might apply to you. Either way, come talk to me. If we need to work something out, we'll work something out. But I want you guys to at least understand where I'm coming from, so that way there's less confusion as we move forward. Okay? All right. Rehearsal things. In our rehearsals, we're going to be working on band music so that we can stitch that together on the back end, like I talked about. Campus ministry, that would be the CMO over there. Campus ministry is intensely interested in having chamber ensembles perform for chapel. It's a great opportunity for us to be of service to the campus community. So we're going to take advantage of that. We're not going to be doing an amazing amount of these, but we will do several, and it'll be great and it'll be fantastic. And we're going to work all that music within your sectional groups. So it's pretty easy and built in. So if you wanted to do flute choir, clarinet choir, if you wanted to do saxophone ensemble or anything in the brasses, we're going to work that in. Now that may require you, like, let's say you're a multi-instrumentalist, you play like, let's say you play trumpet, but you also can play flute and you want to be in flute choir. That's not a real example in our band that I know of, but let's say that was the issue. Well, then I would say, well, then on a certain week, you don't go to the student trumpet sectional, you come to the director-led flute sectional when we work on stuff for a specific chapel service. So you may bounce around during those sectional slots, depending on what we need. I also want to let you know, oops, there it is, that these time slots right here, the first two are actually more or less the original band time slot. The additional half hour is so that we could actually make this work. I am asking that everybody keep this time clear on your schedule. Use this time for homework, if you're going to eat dinner, if you but don't commit to like another long-term activity during this time, because Lord willing, we're in full band rehearsal come, the next semester, and you're going to be busy from 4:45 to 6 o'clock at that time anyway. So just in order to avoid awkwardness later, just make sure you keep this time clear now. Okay. All right. Oh, tour. There we go. I said it already when we talked about syllabus. The tours were canceled. And the reason that tours were canceled was because tours are largely donor funded, and COVID-19 has had a large impact on our donors. And so we don't want to put that stress on them. And quite honestly, we don't want to be traveling to far off distant lands during a pandemic. So in its place, the Office of Development and I have kicked around the idea of, hey, what if we went to local WELS churches, local being with asterisks around that. And that was, yeah, let's do it. So we're putting feelers out there to our WELS congregations to say, hey, look, WLC musicians, it could be a soloist, it could be small chamber ensembles, what I like to call smombles, small ensembles. These, we will say, hey, a church has a need for this, that, and this. Who's available? And the groups will say, we'll take a vote. Yep, we're good to go. Awesome. We'll leave here from campus, we'll take campus vehicles, and we will go drive, we'll go do their services, and we'll come back and call it a day. And this is an excellent performance opportunity, but more importantly, it's an opportunity to be of service and just beautify and edify worship settings, right? So that's what we're going to qualify as tour for this year. And then hopefully next year we can go back on regular tour. Okay. Rehearsal policies, the sticky stuff. Per suggestions made by Peabody Institute at Johns Hopkins and the International Coalition Aerosol Study and the CDC, that's where all of this is coming from. There is nobody making up guidelines that we're listening to anyways. So please know that the guidelines, for, like in your back to school guide and the stuff that I've shared with you, this was not a willy-nilly decision. This was many, many, many meetings. I wasn't always in all of those meetings, but I was definitely asked for my input. And then I had lots of opportunities to share my thoughts on decisions that were made or decisions that need to be made. So to start off with, in any of the rooms, if there are multiple entrances, we are going to utilize one-way traffic. If there is not multiple entrances, then we can't do that. But like in the rehearsal hall, for example, you're going to come in the double doors. That's the main entrance. You're going to leave on the side door. That's what everybody's going to do. If it's in black box, you'll come in the double doors, leave the side door. If you're in 205, I think there actually are multiple doors in there. So we'll just mark one as in and the other one is out. It'll be that easy. Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. In all of the rooms, there are wipes and hand sanitizer. Make sure when you come into a room, sanitize your hands. And then when you're leaving the room, grab a wipe and just wipe down the stand and any part of the chair that you may have touched. This is just a precaution, but it is also in our back to school plan that was submitted to the county. These are all things that we're going to do to ensure that we are being as clean and safe as possible. Okay. Masks. Don't you like that picture? Everyone will wear a mask while playing. These can be modified. You could take a mask and put a slit in it. I would, depending on the instrument you play, like especially brass mouthpieces, I'd make an actual hole, not a slit, because then it gets a little weird when you try to put the mouthpiece back on your face. You can also, you can make your own. There's plenty of examples on Google, and I'll throw some links into Moodle for you. If just in case anybody hasn't found anything or doesn't know quite what to look at, I'll find some things and throw them into Moodle for you to look at. But you can also order these things from a store like Brass Bell, who's local. Music and Arts might be able to help you. I don't know. Amazon might be able to help you. I don't know. There's lots of options. Bell covers for trumpet, trombone, euphonium, and tuba. Not French horn, because that would be silly. To which Jacob is going to say, uh-huh. But for the rest of us brass players, we're going to need bell covers. There are so and no so options depending on your level of stitching that you've got. I'll send you directions for these in Moodle. I would encourage you to have 3, just because you'll use a couple of them during the week, and that way, if you forget to get them washed and dried before the first rehearsal, at least you have one as a backup then. Honestly, you can order these too from someplace like Brass Bell and other places. This doesn't have to be hard. All right, also for the brass players, condensation, and for everybody else who thinks it's spit, even though we do call it a spit valve, it is not spit, it is condensation. You need to have a towel or something like a puppy pad, something that can catch that condensation, so that way we're not leaking all over the floor. Okay, first rehearsal, final thoughts. Our first rehearsal, which will start the sectional rehearsals, will be this coming Monday, the 7th. The rehearsal schedule may need to be adjusted as we go, but I'll give you notice. I'll let you know what's going on. Keep this time slot clear. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Pretty easy. This is, even though my big head is in the way, this is a few more final thoughts. At your service, you have myself, you have Allison and April. Allison has moved into the team leader position for the music department student workers, and April is now our fabulous instrumental assistant. Lockers, I need more music. Some other random question, April's your person. Allison can help too. Start with April, and if you're not sure, email Allison too. You can hit them both. If it's a question for me, shoot them to me. That's fine. Now let's take a look at my office schedule. This is the schedule that's hanging outside of my door. My office is F222. I'm literally in the middle of the hallway here. You're going to see that from 11 o'clock on to 6:30, that's kind of like fair game time for me to do WLC work. All the grayed out stuff, which is all the mornings Friday, and it also would be Saturday and Sunday. I just kept the schedule easy here for looking at. Just for the sake of my family, you can email me during this time. I'm probably not going to answer you though during this time. So just be aware that it's okay to email me. That's totally fine, but do not expect me to answer right away. If it's like Friday and you email me and it's for something that we're doing on Saturday, then yeah, I'll probably answer you back. But if it's just, hey, I had a question about this assignment, or what tempo are we supposed to be doing this at, and you email me on Friday, that's fine. I probably won't answer you though until Monday, just so I can actually focus on my family, okay? So don't feel bad about emailing, but don't expect me to answer you if it's like on a weekend. I probably won't answer you until Monday, okay? So get your emails in fast and furious before Friday, and that way we can get them done. And otherwise, wait till Monday. Pretty simple. If you need to Zoom with me, my office hours, that's when you would do it. And then email is the fastest way to get a hold of me. If you call my office phone, that's probably the slowest way to get a hold of me, because I'm not usually sitting in my office phone all the time. Okay? All right. How are we doing on time here? Come on back. Okay. Waiting for the display to catch up. Super. All right. What questions does everybody have? If you want to shoot them into the chat box, you can. Bueller. Such a fantastic movie when you're in college, I guess. Okay. Anybody? Wow.
There's just a lot to digest,
Yes, there is. I think though that none of this is new news. This is really just me rehashing the previous emails for you. So if you have questions, email me, let me know, and then I can tell you, hey, here's the answer. And if I think that a lot of people are going to have the same question, I'll just kick it out to everybody. Be like, hey, I got this question. I won't say who, but I got this question. Here's the answer in case anybody was wondering. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the mask is something that we just have to deal with right now. It's not the ideal situation, but we had to make a deal with the county health to say, yeah, we can still be open this fall. And this was part of that deal. Honestly, I would much rather be doing this than doing nothing. Okay. And I think a lot of you feel the same way. Um, it'll be okay. We will get past this, and eventually this won't be so new anymore and it won't be that big of a deal. But until then, we just got to keep pushing forward. So I encourage you guys to reach out with questions. I am really looking forward to seeing you guys in sectionals and getting to know each of you. Some of you I've known for a while, and others of you I've only known for a year. So I'm really excited for all of those relationships to keep building with you within your sections and me to you guys, and also just making some wonderful music, because the reason that we're doing this is not a concert. That is not the reason we do this. Uh, if if you've been around me a while, it's the same answer I give you. The reason that we do this is because we've been given a gift by God to make music, and we make music to praise God. And so we make music, we put on performances, but we're sharing God's gift that he has given us with everybody. And specifically, when we're talking about specific literature, there's also the option, or not the option, but the available message of God's grace that we can share with people. It's hard not to think about the impact that a hymn tune has on you when you hear it, and you start to think of what those words are and how those reflect in your own life. So there's a lot of reasons why we do these things, and I want you guys to keep those in your minds. Yeah, the math doesn't make things easy, but we'll get through this and it'll be okay. So if you have questions, if you have concerns, please feel free to reach out to me, talk to each other. It'll be okay. God's blessings. And if nobody else has anything else, there's nothing in the chat box. So have a nice day, and I will see you guys starting on Monday. Bye-bye.